Team Wave Paver, welcome to Bermuda. Thank you for joining us for the Marlin Podcast. It's great to have you guys here. We'll just make a quick round here. We got Junior Davis, the owner of Wave Paver Operation. We got Captain Russell Sinclair, one of the captains. And then we got Garrett Van Orman, the Chief Outdoor Operations for Wave Paver. Is that right?
Correct.
All right. Thank you guys for joining us here.
Yeah, glad to be here.
I mean, just cutting straight to the chase, you guys, for more than 10 years, have been an absolute dominant force on the tournament scene. Wins at, I'll just list off some tournaments. You may, I think our listeners may recognize some of these. Pirates Cove, Big Rock Release Division, which you just came off a win on that, by the way. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Skip's Custom Shootout, Skip's Custom Production Shootout, Boy Scouts Tournament in St. Thomas, BBC, which I believe you guys won twice.
Yep.
Release Division at the White Marlin Open, and Release Division at the Mid-Atlantic, and there's probably several others that are not included in there. But long story short, just wanted to paint the picture that you guys have had some pretty good success and you know what you're doing. So just want to kind of get a little bit more, start with just a little bit more information about you guys. I met Russell a long time ago. We fished together when I was like 13, 14 years old. But other than that, I don't think I've met you guys before. So, Junior, you guys are all from the Central Florida area, right? But tell me a little bit more about yourself. Where you from? What do you do? That kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'm from Kissimmee. Garrett and Russ are from Merritt Island. And I live in Kissimmee. I'm in the road construction business. And I've always fished out of Port Canaveral, close, which is where I met these guys. And I just started fishing a long time ago, back in the 80s. And it just kind of evolved from there. I've loved it. I've always loved to fish. And, every minute I had that I could get away from work or whatever I had to do would go. My family loves it. They're really into it, so they've always gone. So, yeah, just enjoy going, whether it's a tournament or whether it's fun fishing or whatever it is. Just like to go.
Yeah. Did you grow up fishing? Did you in Kissimmee? Is that where you grew up?
I did. In Kissimmee, I grew up freshwater fishing.
Yeah.
And then we'd go over and fish in the river, the Indian River, fish on the jetty out of Canaveral or Sebastian Inlet. Spent a lot of time fishing on the jetty at Sebastian Inlet. But then, got a boat, small boat, like 20-foot center console, started fishing offshore. And then I eventually chartered a boat out of Port Canaveral. And that's ultimately where I met both these guys working on that boat. I met Garrett before he was working on that boat, but I met Russ. They were working on that charter boat and chartered them a lot and kind of went from there.
Yeah.
Kept saving up to be able to buy a bigger boat, and a bigger boat led to a bigger boat, and bigger boat led to more boats. Yeah, more than one boat. So, yeah, it just evolved. But, the fishing part of it has always been a passion for me. I just love doing it. And freshwater fishing is great, too. I just like going fishing.
Yeah. I hear you on that. I hear. Russell, how about you? Where are you from? Central Florida?
I grew up right there in Merritt Island, right by Port Canaveral. And grew up my dad fishing a lot. And we fished every weekend. Come hell or high water, as he used to like to say. Not that rough. And then as a little kid, I was 12, 13, 14 years old, right? In the marina, the main marina at the port, started working on the charter boats. Believe it or not, him and I were across the dock from one another as little kids. He fished on the one boat, I fished on the other, and kind of said hello. We were never best of buddies, but knew each other. He was way farther along in school, even though we're pretty close. But we don't need to talk about that. So anyways, so then I made it on the boats, and then eventually got my captain's license out of high school. Ran a boat, made it on another boat for a while, ran another boat that we went to the Bahamas, and it was all basically meat fishing, charter fishing. And 15 years ago, I had a meeting, and here we are now. So
Gotcha.
I wouldn't say the meeting went that well, but it was lunch. That's all right.
Well enough for 50.
Well enough for 50.
Gotcha. How about you, Garrett?
I grew up in Merritt Island also. After high school, I went to a trade school and became a mechanic for 8 years or something. I started fishing again, and I really missed the ocean. And I was like, man, I want to do this full time. So eventually, he quit his job to run his own boat, and then I got hired to fill in his spot back then. So I did that for 6-7 years, and then I got out of it and stopped fishing and had my own marine refrigeration AC business for a couple of years. And then Junior decided to build a bayless, and I spent some time up there in Wanchese building other boats, and then they offered me a job, and here I've been ever since.
Nice. So I want to talk about how that all came to fruition, right? I want to talk about the beginning, like kind of what, obviously it started with you, right? You're the one that decided you wanted to put this operation together. You grew up fishing, so you had this passion that was building up. Like you said, you saved up and you finally got it. So once you made that decision, you're like, all right, I want to do this. I'm going to buy a boat. I'm going to start fishing tournaments and that whole thing. What was that process like when you were looking for a captain? I mean, you had fished with Russell, I assume, for a bit. Was he kind of like your guy you were going for?
I knew Russ, really loved fishing with Russ. I'd hoped one day that we could fish together again on my boat, right? And so we started off. I had a part-time guy who was the mate, and I ran the boat. When I bought my first big boat, it was 1998, and I had a 54 Ricky Scarborough.
Nice boat.
And I ran the boat, and then as we evolved, got more people, and that kind of opened it up for the start of the tournament fishing. We were able to get a couple more people. And, but I it was always looking for the opportunity and the timing to be right to get to fish with Russ and Garrett, for all of them, because we knew each other fishing out of the same port, and so it just evolved. I think the first tournament that I ever fished was I fished actually on my own boat, was a BBC event in the Bahamas.
Okay.
And I was kind of hooked on tournament fishing. A lot of fun. They did a great job with that tournament series, and so that's kind of where it all started.
Gotcha. I want to talk about, obviously, a big part of the whole operation, any operation, is the boats, right? So you mentioned earlier, before we got on the podcast, we were talking, and just your current fleet, which has changed over the past 15 years a little bit, but your current fleet, if I'm correct, is a 77 bayless, the 75 bayless, which you guys have here in Bermuda that you're fishing on, and then you recently acquired the Tar Heels, another 62 bayless from John, as from his demo boat. So you get the three boats in the operation, right?
Yep.
Gotcha. And what's the plan? What's the plan with those three boats? Where are they going to be staged? Kind of like, what's the goal for having those?
Well, the purpose for getting, more than one was to be able to be in more than one location in the same season, right? And it be a significant difference of heart, right? And so we a couple years ago, actually 4 years ago, we took the 77-footer to Cape Verde, and it was there for 3 years. And we were able to enjoy Cape Verde, and then we went up to the Azores eventually toward the end of that trip over there, and fished most of the summer over there. But we were still able, with the 75, to do a couple tournaments. We'd do a tournament in the Bahamas and do the Big Rock. We really like the Big Rock. My family likes the Big Rock, and so we would go do that. And then we'd like to fish out in Nantucket and do some other stuff. So when the season was over in Cape Verde, we would put the 75 to use and go to work fishing on it. And so it just gave us the flexibility to fish in some really cool spots that were all, a long way apart.
Sure.
And then we had a 61 Garlington for like 20 years. And that was the boat. We sold the Ricky Scarborough in 2004, bought the Garlington, and we fished the Garlington up until we built the bayless. And the Garlington, the third boat in the operation, we kept it for several years until we recently sold and bought 62 Tar Heel, John's boat. But it fishes out of Port Canaveral. And family trips, a lot of client, the folks in the road building business with us, guys and stuff, they love to fish, and taking people out of there. and doing a lot of day trips out of Canaveral. That was basically the purpose of the third boat.
You've gone through the process of building a custom boat at least, what, 2 times at least? Twice with the 2 Baylesses, the 77 and the 75. Walk us through that process. What is the process like from, starting from a blank slate? You go and you meet with the builder, you meet with John. Like, what are those initial conversations? Are you talking about, is this a big end goal? Like, this is what I want to do? Or do you start with the fine details and then work up from there? Like, I'd be interested to know.
Yeah, I'm going to let Garrett speak to it because Garrett was instrumental in doing that.
Sure.
Original idea with hiring Garrett, other than all the other value that he brings to the table, which it's a tremendous more than just building boats, but he had that experience. But John's a great guy. Bayless Boat Works are a great team, and they made it a lot of fun for me. So as an owner, I look back on it, and it was one of the funnest things I've ever done. And I've heard stories contrary to that it was kind of a nightmare, and I've heard that about building a house or something too, and maybe a boat could get worse, right? But he made it fun. Their whole team made it fun for me as an owner to get to do it. And we worked, we had fished a bunch, so we were able to give input. We kind of knew what we wanted. And Garrett knew what we wanted because Garrett fished with us a couple years before we built a boat. And so Garrett knew what we were after and what would best suit us. And so Garrett kind of took the reins. Garrett was the guy that worked with John, worked with his team up there and built the boat. And I just got to sit back and enjoy watch it come together.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, what was it like on your end, Garrett? What's that?
Great. It was great. They got I had experience up there before building other boats, and I'm a mechanic by trade, and I really like to fish, so it kind of goes hand in hand. But I know the systems, and I know how to maintain them all. So that's what I wanted to implement on the boat the most is maintenance, easy maintenance. Working with Bayless and all them guys, real talented guys, and together we set the boat up really good for easy maintenance, a lot of storage, custom stuff for long travel, provisions, tons of refrigeration, all that. But just went up there, got shoulder to shoulder with the guys, and we went to town and made a pretty good product at the end. Did us really well for years. Took it to Cape Verde. We did 8-day stints on the hook. Never went back. Full of food, full of bait, full of everything. So boat breaks, fixed it on the fly, and all that stuff. But it was a great experience on everybody's part going up there and working with John and all them guys.
So when you were going up there with him, would you go up there for like an extended period of time?
Yeah, a lot. I went up there for 2 weeks, but a lot of times I would actually drive home on the weekends and go back up.
Okay.
And then I would stay there all week usually. But I was still fishing tournaments too. So I leave there, go fish a tournament, go back. There's a couple I missed out back then because of obligations with the boat build. But yeah, we just figured it out, made it happen. So.
And so you said you actually lived in Wanchese for several years, 8 years?
No, I spent a year. I spent at the last year of the build.
Okay, gotcha. How'd you like living up there or spending that time up in Wanchese?
It's a cool great place in the summer, not so much in the winter, right?
Yeah.
So I have 4 boat builds up there, and every year I'm like, I'll never come back up here. And it was great, and then all of a sudden I'm back up there again. But,
yeah.
The people up there are wonderful. It's brutal in the winter. Man, I'm a Florida boy, and I don't like the cold.
I can relate.
Cold, yeah.
I went up there for the first time ever in Wanchese in early March of this past year, and God, it was cold. It was windy.
Yeah.
Cold. We were up there for like 3 days. We went to
high humid, high winds, cold. Can never get warm.
But it was a cool place, man. I mean, the history up there, all that whole area is pretty awesome.
Revolves around fishing, commercial fishing. All the restaurants are great, and it's a great experience. It's just the winter's a little brutal, but
yeah. So this is a question, I don't know who to direct it to. I guess I'll let you all take a turn, but it's going to switch over, going to boats back to fishing, specifically tournaments, right? Why? And it's a simple question, but the answer, I don't know. Why have you guys been so successful? And again, I don't know how you want to answer that, but if you had to, in your own opinions, what do you think has led to, as we started off the podcast, listening to all those big wins that you guys have had, and not just like in a short stint, and this is consistent production over the course of 15 years. Would love to hear your thoughts as to what you think.
Yeah, I mean, that's a question for Russell to answer. He's a big part of the leadership of us, having the success we've had being on the wheel. But we fished together a long time, and we enjoy one another's company, and we really like fishing. So, and we try to do it as much as we can. And I mean, I'm as fond, if not fonder, of just a fun fishing day as I am a tournament day. I like the tournaments. Competition's fun, and if you get fortunate and you win something, well, the recognition's cool and all that stuff. But just going fishing is the big win, right? And I think that just that culture and a great group of guys, very fortunate to have a great group of guys to do it with. We're all close friends, and we enjoy it together. And so I think that's a big part of it, the detail and the technical aspects in this guy's hands. Every day we roll out the cut, right? He's got to figure it out and make it happen for us. But
well, one of the biggest driving factors to our success would have to be Junior carries a passion for his fishing more than myself, more than Garrett. That it's the reason why you get up and go, right? So his passion for it is infectious. So like when we go fun fishing, it's just a longer day than it's the same day. There's no cuts, but we got to fish till not dark. We don't got to get up in the dark most of the time, but sometimes we get up in the dark. Stupid. The fish don't like it dark out. So anyways, so with all that being said, his passion has been a big key to it. The other thing is Junior's tenure as an owner and a participant over a long period of time. He got to watch the whole industry evolve from what it was 25 years ago, right?
Yeah.
25 years ago, it was a captain and a mate and someone that turned the handle. And now we're fishing with a gang, right? Between tower guy, sonar guy, captain guy, mates. And Junior was always very forthcoming with putting the right program, the crew, the guys that need to be there. And then you got to get lucky and put the boat in the right spot, right? So one of the key things we always say is if you put the boat in the right spot the longest, you stand the best chance to win. That's really easy to say, but you don't always get in the right spot.
Right. He's really good at putting a boat in the right spot.
But we don't always get it in the right spot. So the guys, his angling ability is 5-star. It's rubbed off on everybody on the boat. He is the only guy that ever touches the rod on the boat, so he should be pretty damn good. But we're not going to get into that. I got a bad shoulder, so he doesn't. Anyway, so with that being said, I mean, his angling in some of the tournaments we fished, it was non-professionals or one professional. And I felt like we always had an advantage because we had a very skilled owner as an angler. And but then now the tournaments have basically gone away from that.
Yeah.
Pretty much. So it's all you hire an angler if you wanted to, or have a really good one right along, which is no problem with that. But it just, his passion, I think, is what drives me more than anything for the fishing. And then the tournaments just fall in place when everything's working. Because even on a fun fish day, if we don't have a good day, yeah, it was fun. And it's okay to not catch any, but it's not okay to let them swim away on any given day. So when you have that mentality, and he's built a whole team, you know, the guys behind us that are running the boats now and mating on the boats, and the crew behind us is strong. And that's where all the credit would go to Junior for providing us with that opportunity.
Yeah.
And yes, you got to drive the boat in the right spot, and you got to figure it out on what to do. But we kind of figured all out together when we put out the pluses and minuses and should or shouldn't we. Got to talk about it openly. No, just because I drive the boat doesn't mean it's very open.
It's really he's really good at driving the boat.
Yeah, and that's all he does, right?
Open.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you mentioned something I want to come back to about the, you're talking about like the departure or the move away from, or I guess now the present day of fishing, having professional crew and team that are doing all the fishing and stuff. I want to go back to that. But Garrett, I want to hear from you though before about your thoughts, from your angle, from the success of the team.
Russell pointed out great, but, Junior, I think watching the evolution of the whole fishing scene and crews and all that, and then he assembled the team, us, and then and all our other members. So everybody on the boat's really, really good at what they do, like top notch, everybody. And then, so when we're hitting on all cylinders, we are like a well-oiled machine, and then everybody's laser focused, and then, like, people don't, like, I'm in the shadows kind of, but to be consistent, you got to be on point all the time. And then, like, for having a ship's engineer, he's probably the first one that wanted one in a sport fish. Well, the boat breaks all the time. That's just a boat, right? But they break it at, at the worst time possible. So if the captain can keep his head in the game, the mate can keep their head in the game. You got one guy going down there, and they're just trucking away, trying to catch fish and taking care of the problem and getting back up, in the mix.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. I mean, that's, I think, another big aspect of the consistency, keeping up, and everybody just, there's nobody slacks on any point as far as our tackle. We got tackle for years, got everything we want. We could change strategy per day, per hour, per minute if we wanted to. If something changes, and all our guys are really quick to respond on that. And the team dynamic is great, man. We have fun. Yeah,
That's key.
right. A lot of laughs, and we're great open conversations. I think is a big part. If something bad happens, we talk about it. We don't blame anybody. We put it out on the table. Well, how can we make it? What can we do different? Not that make that happen again. We do a lot of that, and that we just evolved over the years and got better and better.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
and I think it's just the team dynamic, how we all get along too, because we all know big heads. We're all in there as a team, and we most of the time we're 8 days together, shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah.
You got to be friendly with that person to do that. But we have fun all the time. We have a great time doing it.
Well, who are the other guys on the team, real quick, that we should mention here?
Yeah. Big key players, I'm gonna say Doug Southworth and Noah Beeman. So Doug, the way we're structured is Doug is the captain of the 75.
Okay.
Takes care of everything as a captain, and then and Noah is on the 77. So they both, and I'm over them, overseeing, so just day-to-day operation, maintenance, keeping up, logistics on moving the boats around, where the whole planning. Usually most of our big stuff is we plan a year out, obviously, marinas, where we're staying and all that. But yeah, they do a great job on what they do with the boats too, as the captains, and they do all the transient trips now and all that, and
fishing trips.
Doug fishes a lot.
Okay.
We're not in a
It's getting big.
Yeah,
It's getting big.
so they get a chance, because ultimately they want to get behind the wheel too, progress in their career, and we try to make sure they get that. And they're very talented fishermen too, very, very good.
Nice.
They're behind the wheel
Yeah.
Yeah,
now, right? So it's that many boats, there's only,
yeah,
you need some guys that can fish. You need some guys that can maintain, run the boat, transit legs. We're talking, Canaries to Cape Verde. There's some pretty big legs. That come in here was not no short legs, right? So there's a lot that goes into it, and those guys are both qualified and capable of doing it. They're good fishermen, and they can run the boat from any place, any spot on the team, right? That's the one cool thing about it. We've got two new mates that are super guys. They're great, Matt and Ryan. But everybody else is interchangeable. They can run the boat from any spot on it. That includes the tower, the sonar. They got great eyes. They run the cockpit. They get on the wheel. We're at our best when he's on the wheel. He's on the machine. Noah's in the tower. Dougie's in the cockpit. And we that's how we've done it for so long together. When we tournament fish, it doesn't necessarily look like that when we're fun fishing. Right. Everybody jumps around, but if we're tournament fishing, we're kind of at our best. And it's really cool to see these guys, like, there's no egos. He would, if he would turn over the wheel, whatever we ask in a tournament. Well, we're better with him on the wheel in a tournament than we are with anybody else, so he's going to stay on the wheel. But there's no egos. Dougie will come off the bridge, get in the cockpit. Noah comes off the bridge, he'll get in the tower. Garrett will go wherever. Great in the engine room, great with all the electronics, great with the sonar, and he's the guy that holds it together. Like he said, that's a big point. When you're fishing, you need to be consistent. You need to stay getting after it, right? Well, the boats are going to break, right? Right. He just kind of slides down below, gets it coming together. We're still fishing. We're still being productive fishing. He goes down there, gets it fixed up, gets it whatever, gets it where it'll finish the day. We've come in before. At the end of the day fishing, we go to bed. Garrett goes to the engine room. He'll pull a night shift in the engine room, put it together. One of the guys will stay with him, whatever they need. Get up in the morning. We roll back out the next day. The boat's going to roll at its highest potential every day. And just all of that ability to work together, the egos get checked at the door. We're all here climbing the hill together, right? It's common goal. We're going to go up the hill together. We're going to do the best we can do. That's the attitude with all these guys. Starts at the top, comes all the way down. That's the attitude. And I am very fortunate to get to have that.
Yeah, well said.
Yeah.
Well said. Well, I'm sure with all these tournament wins, I want to know, what does a typical celebration look like for Team Wave Paver after a big win? Like, you guys do anything special, or is it just chilling at the dock, or does it depend, or any good stories from a big win celebration you guys want to share?
Well, at the end, win or lose, we're going to pray, give thanks for the opportunity, right, to be there and get to do that and get to do it together. And so we do that as soon as we pull the lines out. And then it's pretty much wide open. I believe God will bless a good celebration. Yeah. And we try to get really good at celebrating. Yeah. And it's
water to wine,
Yeah. And it's pretty much, it's a fun ride in on that last day, and we celebrate, and I mean, y'all can add to that, but it sure is fun. Yeah. When you're fortunate enough to wind up at the end of it with more than your share, it's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Usually it comes down to, like, very rarely is it ever a landslide. Usually it comes down to, like, oh my gosh, I need so, and you're down to the minute. And sometimes you're catching the last one to win, or sometimes you're hoping somebody doesn't have the good luck to catch one right at the last minute. So when it's all kind of over, I'm kind of like, sure we got this? Because that, anyways, but yeah, so that to me is kind of a relief. Hey.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you drop the mic and you lose. That happens too.
Right.
We call it the belly flop. I can do a pretty nasty as far as being in the wrong position.
Well, I'm sure, it's like a monkey off your back, though, once the tournament's done, when you guys are, especially with the win, right? I mean, all the prep.
Never just won and been a landslide. Like,
yeah.
Oh my gosh, we don't even need to fish the last day.
Right.
That's not an option anyways, but it's never been like that. Yeah. You're always just one ahead or a little bit.
Yeah. You got anything? Any good stories? Any good celebration stories?
I think it's White Marlin Open.
Yeah.
We fished out our days and we fun fished the last day. And then I drove the boat that day. We were fun fishing. We were running the clock out, right? The last guys out of fishing, and fortunately won. So hoot and holler, we're running in as to the long run, and then beers are flowing a little bit for the guys downstairs, and we fished a little bit, and then we're about to run in, I think, right? After we won, and then they all bear hugging and doing it all down there, and Junior and I are up on the bridge, I'm looking down, we're all, and all of a sudden they get to the corner, and I see Noah, are we doing this? Headsets, full clothes, everything. The whole crew, caboose. Over the side they go, and they're all floating around in the middle of the ocean. That was a pretty good one. That was fun.
It all started because they picked on you. So then we were going to go down there and have like a WWF wrestling match. I went down by myself. Nobody followed. And then they were going to throw me in. And I was like, well, I'm not going in by myself.
Yeah.
So I bear hugged one of them. And the next thing you know, we all went. And it was like, we're doing it. And next thing you know, the boat's still going. It was 100 yards away. Hell of a swim.
He had to jump out.
Yeah.
One of the guys was struggling a little bit to swim.
Yeah.
And he had to jump out. I just backed the boat up to him. He's pulling one guy in. Yeah, it was a great memory. It was a lot.
Yeah,
That's good.
Well, you guys are obviously we're here in Bermuda. You guys are fishing the Triple Crown. You guys are fishing the whole 3 legs of the series. Staying here for all of July. What's on the radar for you guys looking out for the next 6 months? And then I know you're probably looking ahead a year, right, Garrett, already for what's happening next year. So what's on the docket for Wave Paver for the next 6 months to a year? Where you guys going?
We'll go to Nantucket when we leave here.
Okay.
Finish the summer up there fishing, and we're going to try to do the Pirates Cove. But the schedule comes together, we'll try to do the Pirates Cove, and then. But other than that would be the last. This will either be our last tournament or the Pirates Cove will.
Okay.
And then we'll finish the summer in Nantucket, and then tell them about next year. We're going back to Cape Verde.
Yeah, the 77's at John's now. Bayless is, and we're just redoing her, jazzing her up for another stint in Cape Verde. So going through the old boat, paint, did a bunch of engine work, and then changed a few things and just freshen her up and put her over there for another 3 years. So here's a good point on our team too. We took that boat, a 77-foot Bayless, to Cape Verde. It's pretty remote. 3 years, the crew, everybody maintained that boat. Nobody touched that boat but us for 3 years. It's all the maintenance, all the driveline, all the work, everything. Everything that broke, we fixed. All the engine repairs, we fixed. And the guys did a lot. I did a lot. And then we only flew one guy in for a seakeeper repair. So I was just kind of over it. But but that just tells you a lot about the talent of our whole team.
Right.
A boat of that caliber that we took care of it for 3 years.
It's got to be such a relief as like an owner and a captain to know that you've got. I mean, I know all you guys probably know your way around a boat, but Garrett, you seem like you dialed in big time on that. It's got to be such a relief knowing that, like, no matter what happens, you got a guy that can pretty much figure it out.
It's huge for me. And Noah went over and visited. We all did, to check it all out, make sure everything would be good to get the boat power hooked up and get a slip and all that before we brought the boat over. And we brought the boat over. Noah moved his family over there. Noah lived there for 2 years. That was a huge relief for me.
Right.
He was on site on the boat every day, and it was a great experience for his family. They loved it, and but they did. So to understand. Elaborate a little bit on what he said about they did all the maintenance. Got to haul the boat every year to dry land. They have a rail system over there. It's pretty primitive, right? Works for them. Big electric winch motor up on the end of it, cable that big around, hooked to a trolley car on rails, backs out in the water. They float their boats up on this steel trolley car, and they hit the winch and tow her up to dry land, and they do the work on their boats. When we went over to check the place out, before we went, we wanted to be able to haul there in case we had a problem that we couldn't get up the street, which is 900 miles to the Canaries to get to a haul out place, right? We wanted to make sure we could haul out there. And Garrett met with the guy in that boatyard, took measurements on that trolley car, and he fabbed up a bunk system before we left that we could put on that trolley cart, put our boat on that. I'm calling it a trolley cart. I don't know. It's a big steel train car, tracks it back down there. And he fabbed up this system, right? I-beams, everything, and then cut it up where he could bolt it together when it got there, loaded it in a container, put it on a freighter, and shipped it over there. So it was there when we got there. And the first year that we hauled the boat, after we, thankfully, we didn't have an emergency that we had to haul it, right? But they had to haul it for the maintenance. The first year we did that, they hauled that boat on our boat, 77, on that rail system, and got up there in the yard, and 7-8 days later knocked out all the yard work for the year, and slid her back down the trolley cart and put her back in the slip. I don't know a lot of outfits that can pull that off. I'm in the road construction business, so we have to build some stuff, here and there, and try to figure some stuff out. It was pretty amazing when they were able to do over there. And it just, there again, to your point, it's got to make me feel really good. Yeah, it made me feel really good. We got the Beeman, Noah Beeman, his family are over there. Garrett's ingenuity to get us set up, to get over there, checked it all out, and it just all came together. It's one of the greatest places I've ever been.
Yeah,
I love that place.
I was going to ask you, because you guys bounced up around North Atlantic a good bit. So you did Cape Verde, Canaries, Azores. Have you done Madeira as well? Have you take the boat over there yet?
We haven't been there yet.
So out of those three, which ones do you like? I mean, Cape Verde, I feel like has the fish, but I'll let you answer that.
I mean, I'll answer Cape Verde. I love Cape Verde.
Okay.
It's a special place. The way we fish there is like Garrett said earlier. We'll leave we fly in on day before, get in there about 5-6 o'clock that night, eat dinner, go to bed, and when we leave the dock, we won't come back sometimes for 7 or 8 days. We just leave and stay on the hook every night, tuck in a lee behind an island or whatever, and somewhere where the wind ain't blowing. But if wind blows a lot there, so you need to find a non-windy spot. So we put the boat there, but we live on the hook, all of us, for 7 or 8 nights, right, out there fishing, and we'll fish daylight to dark. We a lot of times we won't even put it on the top. We'll troll into where we're going to drop the anchor and just leave kind of everything hanging, right? Drop the anchor, and then in the morning pick the anchor up. We just got to drop everything back in the water and troll back out there. And so it's a special place. The Azores is beautiful. I mean, the scenic part of the Azores, it's not as windy there. It wasn't when we were there. And so the ocean was a little nicer, but great fishery. And, the islands are beautiful, and the agriculture on it, and the history and the older structures. It's really a cool spot. But, I mean, what do you think?
The fishing, they're all great, but the daggum, the wind to Cape Verde is eye-opener, which we got our eyes open when we went there. I've never fished in wind like that on purpose. It can blow, sometimes if you're in the wrong spot at the right time, it can blow 40 or 50. The way it comes down around a mountain, it'll come shooting down through the waz, they call it. I didn't know what a waz was until Ronnie told me, and it was a wind acceleration zone. It'll blow your hat off. It'll blow the pitch from one side all the way to the other. And then you're getting a bite in it. And you can see it, like, because you're behind a mountain 1 minute.
Yes.
So the Azores I like because it was calm.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
How about the Canaries?
We didn't fish a lot.
Yeah. Nah, I think we really fished. We used it as a fuel stop between the Azores and
Gotcha.
and Cape Verde.
Gotcha. How about you, Garrett? You got a preference?
Cape Verde because of the fish caliber. Azores is beautiful, and the fishing is good there too, but nothing like Cape Verde when it's going on.
Right. Yeah. It has been.
Slow season.
Yeah.
To give it some credit. Yeah. It was a slow year.
Right.
We were there. Slower than what it's been.
Not like this year. This year seems going off. Seems like in Cape Verde.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, not Azores. But
the Azores were slow the one year we spent some time.
Oh, gotcha.
There was some fishing. Big.
Right.
Really big. Big tunas.
Big eyes, right? Big eye tuna?
Big eyes, yellowfins, and bluefin.
Oh, really? Nice.
Some really cool.
Very cool. Just to wrap this up, and this has been great. Just sitting here and talking to you guys, if, of all of all the successes, right, is there something, whether it's a tournament or not, right, is there something that you guys, we can go around like we have been, something that, since you guys are fishing together 15 plus years, whatever it may be, anything that you're most proud of, right? Like something that when you think of, Wave Paver team, like that you've built, or you guys have collectively built, as a team, what sticks out to you? What are you most proud of?
Go ahead. I'll go last.
Now we're all going to cry. So, as far as being a part of the team, like I said, if every day you take it one day at a time for the fishing. So I normally think more about the fishing than any of the boat stuff,
Right.
any of the tackle stuff. Guys are perfect. They do a great job. They're the best in the industry. For me, to be able to, which some of the success has been because the advancements, the equipment, to be successful at driving the boat in the right spot the longest. So I would say when you said all that,
Yeah.
all those days that you listed we won, those were all the days we didn't go to the wrong spot, right? We still had to perform,
Right.
but in some of those days we might have went to the wrong spot, and maybe we stayed there long enough and it turned into the right spot.
Right.
And I would love to tell you why, but sometimes it just happens
Yeah.
when you least expect it. So for my role involved in the whole program, for you to be able to say that, I know I did a little something right.
Yeah.
And I hope it reflects for the guys to succeed too, because everybody really don't succeed a lot if you don't catch much.
Right. Yeah.
So I would say I take a little bit of pride in that. So
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I can say, I think it's really cool, like having fished with you from a long time ago, and like your story, seeing you come up, being, I'm from Central Florida, you're from a similar area, and see you kind of, when I fished you were maiden on the ticket, and then you ran your own boat. Now you're running this boat, this program. It's really cool. I think that's cool. I mean, and I don't even know you that well, but it's it's cool to see someone put in the time, put in the work, and then get rewarded for that. Like in this industry. So I'll just say that
I'm a fraction of the whole program, but I'm happy to be a part of what I do.
Yeah.
I hope everyone has a good time.
Well, I can tell you this much: I fished on a boat over in the Bahamas, pretty much for the custom production every year for the past 10 years on a boat called the Sunny Boy. It's an old Bertram.
Oh yeah.
They just got a new boat. It's got a new Viking. But anyways, the guys are family friends of mine, and been lucky enough to fish with them. And I can tell you that every year that we fish the custom production, and we look at the list, and it's like Wave Pavers fishing. We're like, oh, like, well, there goes our chances. It's like it's like it was like a little animosity on the boat. We're like, these guys, are you kidding me? Like, anyway, so like, well,
Hey, that's start of it, man. We all been there.
absolutely.
Oh, yeah. This all started with what you're saying, what you were on the receiving end of. Well, I can remember that.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you some names right now at the top of my head. I still think about them and how bad they whooped up on not just us fishing as the Wave Paver, but before the Wave Paver. He did 10 years when I'm fishing. I can name the guys. I know who they were.
Right.
Hell yeah, you hold that animosity.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the right word to say.
No, it is. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. How about you, Garrett?
The reward for everything,
The proud. Like, what makes you proud when you're looking back at all you've done?
just the success of the whole program. Everybody that succeeds and learns and evolves, and our objective are kind of simple on paper, right? Number one, Phil, make sure on his counter he wants to fish as we go fishing. Make sure the boats work, keep them shiny, and put them where he wants them, right? But the logistics and what it takes to make all that happen is pretty complicated. And we got, even on just one boat, we got two, we got three, and how we evolved from where we started, he started it, and we evolved the whole program as a team, and ended up, and we still, and we still have the success we do. And it's pretty cool how it all came together.
Yeah.
Growing. We also have some land in Florida that I help manage out there too, and so it's like nonstop. We got a crew out there that does all that.
Well, tell me about that. What do you guys? Where's the land, and what do you guys do out there?
West of Cocoa,
Okay.
so east of Orlando, 13,000 acres,
Nice.
and heavily managed for deer, turkey, and anything you think about management for wildlife, we do. Dry burns, logging, heavy supplement, food program, big giant food plots.
You guys have cattle on there too?
We don't.
No.
With the land's leased, so
Gotcha. So it's a hunting
yeah.
hunting property.
But we do a lot of work out there to prove it all.
Wow. And that you oversee that too.
Hence the chief outdoor
officer. That's better than chief operations officer, man. I'll take that any day.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing out there. It's like, going from the ocean and going straight out there. It's pretty cool.
That's still kind of like the old Florida out there, and that's on I'm trying to think of what road. It's on 46. No, not 46, but that's I remember driving from
From 192 to 528.
Yeah,
That's where it is.
yeah.
Yeah, the whole thing's pretty big what goes on, and got a lot of great guys make it all happen.
Do you guys score your bucks?
Oh yeah.
What's the big? I mean, I know Florida isn't necessarily known for giant bucks, but what's the biggest you guys got out your property?
Well, I got he shot it.
Tell him this question.
That's why I'm not answering.
It's 172 non-typical.
What?
Yeah.
In Florida?
Oh yeah.
Man, well, we're gonna ask you for some pictures.
I'm the guy that just was lucky enough to shoot it. It takes a lot of guys to grow one. That's the task.
That's impressive.
We got another 154 typical.
Okay. That's
Yeah, and we got a countless 130s, a couple in 140s, a lot of 120s.
Those
Hogs. And
relegated to the population control, huh? I got you. Well, so most proud of that 174-inch buck or whatever, yeah.
pretty impressive. Growing up in Florida, all of us, this was big back in the day, and then we got these giant things now running around everywhere. It's like crazy. But
man.
Just proper management and habitat, they come, grow.
That's pretty cool.
And our turkey population is crazy, so we have really good turkey hunting out there.
Yeah. That's cool. That's cool. How about you?
The evolution of what we've been able to do over the years to accomplish, right, with adding boats and seeing more and getting to spend more time fishing and getting better at it and getting more hours at it, there's a lot of logistics that goes into to getting, to having those opportunities, right? And, great group to take advantage of those opportunities. We don't miss many of them, this group, right? But there's a lot that goes into it that these guys put together and make available. And it, used to didn't be that way. Like I said, I've been since 98, right? It come a long way. And so the evolution of it all in the group that we've been able to put together and the relationships and the fun we have doing it together is something I'm really proud of. But if I had to single out one of the biggest, one single thing I'm proud of it is that coupled with Cape Verde. What we were able to do in Cape Verde and see it the way we saw it. There's been a lot of great programs go to Cape Verde and experience some great fishing, and we learned a lot from things they told us. I think Russell mentioned Ronnie Fields. Ronnie spent a lot of time there and told us about it. He helped us with it. But the way we were able to experience it on a 77-foot bayless with the, built to do that with the modern technology and the way we were able to maintain it and the fishing we had and the way we got to see it, leaving for 8 days, staying on a hook 8 nights, going 200 miles to places. But we couldn't find anybody that had ever been there in town that we talking about. We've never been down there. Well, let's go down there and check it out. And we'd go down there and have fishing. And that whole experience of Cape Verde is probably the single most, even out of the success. We've been fortunate enough to have in the tournaments. That whole Cape Verde experience is the single most thing I'm proud of. It was fun. And I cannot wait to get back there.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, guys, thank you again. This has been a lot of fun. Good luck fishing this series here in Bermuda, and good luck in Cape Verde next year. Yeah. So thank you guys again.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks for having me.